All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tears of the Realms. Yes, this is our Cypher System powered homebrew Legend of Zelda RPG set in our weird, messed up Tears of the Kingdom / Breath of the Wild flavor of Hyrule. Wow, brain is just gone. And the people below me are almost as awake as I am.
No, not almost.
What?
No,
I
you've
don't
got 2 hours on
exist.
us. We're not as nearly awake as you.
Oh.
Why does it say I'm Lex?
No?
Who has done this?
I can change it for you if you want.
I'm changing it.
I was about to say,
Don't know how it happened in the
you
first place.
have the ability to
It
do
is.
that, though. Like, I haven't touched it, and you're the only other person that has access to that. So,
Like I said, not as awake. It's fixed. Please continue.
so hi, everybody.
Romy part of my name.
For those of you that do celebrate the holidays, I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. For announcements,
Or are still having a wonderful holiday,
Or still
depending
having
on
wonderful
which
holiday.
holiday you're celebrating.
yeah, I got the power sword, and I'm super happy, and I'm going to show it off everywhere. Cause
Oh, that was your Christmas gift.
yeah, this is.
I thought it just apparated in your room recently, but that makes more sense.
Well, I was chosen by Zordon to lead the Power Rangers,
Oh.
but
Is that true without
this-
coin?
this is a foam prop. So my
It
real
seems
power
more likely
sword.
he stole it from the real Red Ranger.
Yeah, I found this dude saving the world, and I'm like, dude, I need your sword. Just trust me on this one.
Joda's either the real bad guy or some random OC character from Kingdom Hearts.
That's how it works. So yeah, that's Hanukkah is still going on for another. How long is Hanukkah again? 7 days.
It's 8 crazy nights.
Thank you.
You pay attention
I'm
to the Adam
Jewish,
Sandler
and I don't even
song.
know this stuff.
Let's say
I'm
that's
not.
some sort of movie or something, right?
It was Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song.
Yeah.
You have
But
to
yeah,
actually
so-
like Adam Sandler to pay attention to that, though.
It's existed for long enough. You might
It
not need to
has.
know about it,
Nah.
or you
No.
might not need to like him.
But anyway, cool stuff like that is going on. As far as other announcements, Jody shall pilot the red meerkat, a noble creature. Meerkats are not part of heraldry, and badgers are super cool, Imp. Stop being mad that you were the blue badger.
Go Meerkats.
I don't know what this is about, but
I don't
did-
either, but I've made a
Well-
choice.
Blue Badger.
I'll so the first announcement, on Monday I will be streaming the finale of my December mini campaign that I ran, and Elias, there we go. Elias is one of the players. It's been fun.
it's Metroid
Yeah.
Inquest.
So Elias
have-
is having fun.
It has been a time knowing exactly what Jody's talking about when he describes something and having to not know in character what he's describing when he's talking about.
I went and found the logo for something in the Metroid universe, and as they were searching this room, I go, well, you find a box with this logo on it. And Elias goes, dang it. I know what that is, but my character doesn't. There's something akin to that. And I was just like, yay. So,
That's why I used to do in various campaigns self-imposed wisdom checks, because my character would not have the common sense, but I would, so I would roll for it. And sometimes that leads to you making deals with every potential deity under the sun in a tower and corrupting your soul.
How fun.
Yeah, Curse of Strahd is fun.
Gotta love it.
Too often I get accused of being the bad guy in games,
Just
but
to
I
call
don't
it
think I
out.
do much to help myself. It's not my fault I'm prone to chaos.
Well, Imp plays as well. Imp plays Kronk effectively.
Legal names.
I didn't
yeah.
know Imp knew Squirrel.
That's how
well-
he's speaking etiquette. It's just like squeaker, squeak, squeakum, squeaker.
It's been fun. So anyway, 9 p.m. Central Time is when the finale will happen, and theoretically, it should be super cool and fun. Last session, they got to fight an Emmy from Metroid Dread and got the ice beam. So I mean, that's cool.
You have an ice beam pistol. It's dope.
Other announcements going on.
In Zelda news, Zelda still exists. I purchased the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild yesterday because I had forgotten it existed until recently, and I never had it. So that's my latest OCD purchase.
I got books.
Yay!
Which Zelda book?
So actually, a couple of my nibblings got Zelda stuff. They got the sword and shield, and then the other got the bow, which they were shooting around the house, which is an interesting thing.
Appropriate. That's what kids
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of what you do with a bow.
Yeah, we see it. That's cool.
That's one book. That's two books. I'm just gonna keep doing this. It's three.
I don't like that one.
I know you wouldn't, but this might be the best.
Ho for your problems.
Ho.
It cut off the P, the second P on the stream. So it's, yeah.
Wherever it shows up. Edgar is coming with me.
By the way, Chax, you're linguistically minded. What's it called? I think they're called like compound vowels or something like that, where the inside of your mouth makes one shape and your lips make another one. What's the actual term for that? Like, we don't have them in English, but like German.
Articulation.
Well, no, it's like in German, one of the vowel sounds is you make
Like
A
our
with your
tongue does
mouth.
something different and our lips do something different.
Well,
Like
no,
if you try
like-
to say "ta" versus
It's an actual, because I had to learn it for singing in German. Because they have, there's a vowel in German that's pronounced klö, or it goes where it's an A and then an and so it goes klö. It's weird. In French, they have it too, where it's y, where you put an E and an U, and so it's y.
to diphthong.
No, diphthong is when it moves halfway through, like
It
A
does.
is a
E.
diphthong.
Your tongue
No,
is moving.
y, if I'm moving, I'm not supposed to be. They're supposed to be simultaneous. Anyway,
Okay.
we were talking about that before, and I can't remember the word, but I had
Gonna
to learn
Google.
IPA.
Official name for weird German vowels.
That's not going to
Umlaut.
backfire.
Umlaut
That sounds like
diacritic.
it. Umlaut
Umlaut's a
diacritic,
symbol.
that sounds that. Anyway,
That's not it. An umlaut's a symbol.
I know, but I like the word.
Okay.
Doppelaut is a monosyllabic
Anyway.
speech sound consisting of two vowels. Diphthong or doppelaut.
Anyway, I had to learn IPA when I was in college for singing, and it was annoying.
Yeepa.
Diphthongs.
Those damn diphthongs. By the way, I can't remember who it was. Oh, I was being interviewed by a friend of the channel, Bear Blair Beveridge. That's his name. He used to have this podcast, and his co-host was from Australia, and we got talking on the topic of language because I used to study accents. And I go, the most interesting thing about the Australian accent, just in general, is they have no pure vowels. 100% of their vowels are diphthongs. And the Australian co-host, that I can't remember her name now, apparently had never heard the term diphthong. And if you're not expecting it, it's a weird term to be told. It's like, yeah, you guys are just full of diphthongs. And she's like, excuse me? So.
Oh, Tyrlin.
There we go, Tyrlin. She's super awesome. She's in everything. She's a published author, and she teaches theater, and she's everything.
God, she's another Curie. Can the world take
Yeah,
it?
she's kind of Australian Curie.
It's okay. They're on opposite sides of the world. They each
That's
get
fair.
half.
They each claim.
They balance the
Continent
world
is
out.
fine.
If Tyrlin ever comes to the U.S., we'll just watch the entire world just kind of
World
pivot.
shift.
She at one point.
That opened various portals to the Fey realm if they get together. Just sporadically start popping up in
Cataclysmic.
places. Yep.
Seriously, I'm gonna have to shoot a message to Tyrlin and just go, hey, do you want to guest star on my TTRPG? Because I have a person that I need you to meet.
Well, so
Sort of.
she might still, but she used to really admire Curie, and Blair visited a long time ago, and we had drinks with Curie and a few other people, and Blair was just like, I'm gonna call up Tyrlin. It was super early in Australia, and Curie was there, and she freaked out. Yeah, it was interesting.
I don't know. I believe Imsaski, are they married? I actually have no idea what Tyrlin's marriage status is, but she's a super cool person, and I follow her on Facebook, and she always posts about all the awesome stuff that she does. So, yeah. Omar. See, the thing with getting an Omar a gift sounds like giving a mouse a cookie. The thing with getting Omar a gift is you never know the next time you're actually going to see him.
Yeah. Yeah, he is out of the state this year, though I usually do see him at Christmas. Um, but this gives me more time. Actually, since the summer, he's been like, I have gifts for you. We haven't found time to meet up.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I
we've
live
already
half the country away most of the time.
been able to prove that Curie is in fact a Fey spirit after the Taskmaster incident. I firmly believe Omar is also some Fey spirit in some way, shape, or form that only manifests when he's needed, where he's needed.
He's in a constant state of superposition until observed.
But
Schrodinger's Omar.
if that's the case, wherever he is in that superposition still has good cell coverage.
You know,
That's how it goes. We need to have a Geek and Century Vloggers reunion. It's been far too long.
Yeah,
I
they
think
had
this
one
year's
several years ago.
I think this year marks 10 years since it started, because I think it started in 2014, didn't it? Or 2013, somewhere around there?
I feel like it was late 13, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Good times. Back when the internet was very slightly less of a nightmare.
And that's true with every
Anyway.
passing second.
Just continues to become more and more of a hellhole.
Trying to figure out what there was about me on the internet at that time.
I know you were a mod, and that's how we met.
Not until 2015.
And you appeared physically on the Geek and Sundry Twitch channel. I remember that.
in 2015. And then later too. Yeah. Um, well, when it was really easy in those days to just be like, "Hey, I'm in town.
I'm
Let
coming
me in."
over.
Pretty much. Well, and where the studio was so near the airport that I would walk to my hotel from the airport and then walk to the studio from my hotel. So easy.
When I remember at one point, like they weren't even trying to hide where it was, and they would just randomly go, "Yeah, you're more than welcome to just show up." And
They
then, like
had to
after a
fix
month of
that.
that, they immediately went, "No, do not show up. Do not show up at the studio. We will not let you in. Don't randomly show up at the studio. That's a very bad idea." I think I
Yeah,
remember
they
Zach
realized that.
having to give a speech about that on stream.
Yeah.
By the
Um,
way, Zelda Universe has no studio, so we just ask that
good
you don't
luck.
randomly show up at our houses.
You can't get into my building. Sorry.
You can show up to mine whenever. I'll give anyone who wants it my address.
Yeah. That's how I'll get the gifts from Omar. Thanks, Elias.
I have a corner of stuff that friends can have if they want. It's just full of like random little things.
Elias has gift bags.
No, it's like the treasure chest at the dentist when you're good and don't bite them.
So if you show up at Elias's house and you don't bite him, you can get a present.
I didn't get things from the treasure chest very often.
I learned a really disturbing fact about the dentist, or at least the people who go to the dentist from Reddit. Thank you, Reddit.
Thanks, Reddit.
The fact that, so, you know, when the dentist are in your mouth, you'd like try to keep your tongue away from everything to, right? Apparently, most men end up licking their dentist's fingers like repeatedly, but just men, not women.
That's fascinating.
Women are too
Right.
aware of their tongues. They're like, nope, stay out of the way.
That's fair. Versus men are like, what's that? That feels
Yeah.
weird.
That is a fascinating fact that
Right?
I never wanted to know.
Exactly. Thank you, Reddit.
The only times I've done it were on accident, and then I was just horrified, and then made a very, very concentrated effort to not ever do it again.
Apparently, it happens to some. Like, I guess it's involuntary because, as we say in speech, your tongue is a curious thing. That's why to get like articulation patterns will like touch the top of your root, the roof of your mouth, and so your tongue will automatically go there. Like, what the heck was that? That's why
And
when you
oral
get
fixation
popcorn,
is the first step too.
well, no, but that's the same
No,
thing.
no,
Like when
not
you
in
get,
your field.
yeah, I was about to say, well, no,
Yeah, no.
I mean, that's
You guys are in
definitely
two different
my
tongue fields.
field.
Yes.
That's definitely
We're-
in my field. We talk about that and we use that a lot, or have to deal with that a lot. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's why when you get popcorn in your teeth, you keep like worrying it because your tongue knows it's not supposed to be there. So when something touches your mouth, it's not supposed to be there. And so I guess guys have a harder time to shut that off when it's fingers.
Like, someone's putting stuff in your mouth. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Yep. So, but it's like apparently it's bad. I'm sorry, this is just really funny. It's bad enough that like some dentists actually have to like directly tell them or like have their assistant to use the tools in order to
gosh.
keep their tongue. It's like, dang, how much are you doing it that they can't tell you?
It's also getting in the way of them doing their work.
Exactly.
Once
Like, you don't like the
again,
dentist, stop licking their fingers.
once again, thank you, Reddit,
Use
for
like
this.
gloves anyway. Precisely. So now you know.
That is
Dentist.
nonsense.
Don't lick their fingers.
To be fair, like if you just randomly say, "Hey, don't lick Dennis' fingers," it sounds weird. But they're shoving them into your mouth. There's limited space in there. They're going to
Hopefully
get
not their
licked.
fingers in your shoved in your mouth. That's a different genre.
Wow. So,
Welcome to our Zelda tabletop RPG stream.
where we talk about don't lick the dentist.
Does Poe have any advice about this?
That was dental advice.
I mean, lesson 2 is embracing your inner neurotic, so maybe.
Sounds like the wrong advice.
That's why it's called unhelpful advice.
yeah.
Franco. Unhelpful self.
The secondary title is Uncommon Advice from History's Least Likely Self-Help Guru.
So,
Don't lick the dentist sounds like a weird 90s Parker's Brothers game that
Yep.
got greenlit for no reason.
yep.
That was actually the name of my Nickelback cover band in high school.
I like that. That was good.
Pathological mate selection is one of the lessons.
Oh,
I'm still trying to figure out which one applies to the dentist thing.
We talk about glottal stops and safe words. Those are two things that really don't need to be in the same. Like, they're both really fascinating things. Like, you generally shouldn't
So-
use glottal stops with your singing because it puts extra.
I was going to
strain
say
in your
for your
larynx.
safe word.
Yeah, you probably don't want to use glottal stop for your safe word either.
Thriving through self-sabotage.
and
Oh
Leah's,
man.
and Leah's streaming to us from another dimension this morning.
What does it look like?
I don't know.
Okay,
you
it's
got a
fine
lamp.
on there. I do. I didn't turn it on because I thought it would be too much light for you.
Anyway,
Is California another dimension?
I mean, pretty damn
Sometimes
close.
it feels like it.
Compared to the rest of the country, most of the time it feels like it.
And
Not
then,
the rest of the
and then
most of the
Southern California is a pocket dimension within that.
Yes.
Lesson number
1000%.
22, why you must question reality.
Perfect.
Maybe
Like
I
the
should get
reality
this book.
of the dentist shoving his fingers in your mouth.
Maybe
Jody's
lesson
still
24
on
applies
that.
to the
He's-
dentist.
Can't stop thinking about licking Dennis'
I
fingers.
can't.
So glad.
Lesson
so
24, achieving immortal renown through bad behavior.
There we go. Fits.
Yep.
So,
Oh, there's an addendum. 25 ways to roast a raven.
Oh, poor Raven.
Like, make
And
fun of
Lakota
it?
is pun.
Yeah, cool.
Poe won by losing, and you can too. There's a quiz. How Poe are you? So that'll be fun.
Guys, we succeeded in making Jody laugh enough that he had to take off his glasses.
Yeah,
We
oh.
win.
I can't see anymore because I've been laughing so much that I cried, and then somehow that mixed with something that made my eyes burn. So,
All your tears. They can do that sometimes.
That's only the sixth kind
My
of tear
tears
we'll
are-
be dealing with today.
Exactly.
Oh, the addendum about roasting a raven is actual quotes of horrible things said about Poe.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like making fun of it. Yeah. Not a cookbook.
so next campaign, I will not use one
Raven cookbook.
word to describe 70 different things in the campaign. Are you happy now?
Oh man.
All right.
I do think it would have been funny if it was a cookbook.
Maybe the
It
maybe
would've
the
been
25th
hilarious.
maybe the 25th
Raven
one will be a recipe.
Claw cookbook.
That's a way.
Anyway, I think it's time for us to return. Excuse me. Now, let's try this one more time. I think it's time for us to return to Tears of the Realms.
How to serve men. It's a cookbook. Jax is dead now. Long live Jax.
All that came across was how to serve men.
Right as the music started too. It's impressive.
Oh,
It wasn't in the tab, so I don't have the music.
The Tier Walkers are trying to learn stuff. It has been a bit of time since we've been able to play because we're never getting checks back.
The remainder of the session, we will either not have Chax functional or not have Jody functional. They'll take turns.
Make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh.
I just
And to-
meant put your fingers.
Well, we got them both. We got them both at the same time.
I have no idea what's even happening anymore.
It's,
And you know what? I don't think it's my fault.
well, maybe not entirely.
Sorry, you just offered the perfect line for like most of us with the campaign, and then and then it fit. Okay.
Oh, wow. For those of you that didn't hear what Jax just said, she said,
Nope, got him.
Gosh.
oh man, Jax, take whatever point you want.
Female token.
Take all the tokens.
Say anything you want. Here's the key.
All right, Jax is DM.
Everyone take 5 players.
Great.
Reroll tokens.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh,
That checked off.
oh man. Wow. Oh man, I am crying.
Most I've ever laughed at 9 a.m.
Wow. Let's see if we can actually play the game now. So,
Doubt.
Yep.
excuse me. It's been a while since we've been able to play due to schedules and everything, and just the holiday season in general being kind of wacky for everybody. That being said, I believe the last time we played, you guys had, I think Soraya, you had gotten the who's you what's it? You had finished your itching powder torture of that one dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the last time we played was just Jax and me DMing about torture techniques.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ilea, we have someone else to give pleasure to. So
Pleasure.
our pleasure, not his.
Okay.
Well, maybe his. We
If
don't know
we're
yet.
giving though,
This is turning, going down a route that I was not expecting, and I'm pretty sure will eventually violate TOS. So,
you guys couldn't even handle the fingernail thing, so
Fingernail thing. You know what? Never mind.
yeah.
Skewers?
sorry, every time.
I was thinking the plier thing.
Oh.
Wait.
So
wait,
anyway,
hang on.
enough about torture techniques.
Hang on. This is for Jody. Finger.
Does that
And
mean
there
that Leah
it
and I are
is!
going to be serving this guy?
It's a cookbook.
Well done, you guys. Well done.
All right, so I'm here, and I guess instead of playing the game while Jody recovers, we should talk about some of my work. So, one of the things that I'm going to be working on this spring is I'm going to be doing a guest lecture on ancient Egyptian rhetoric, and we're going to be talking a lot about translation work as part of that,
Ooh,
which
cool.
means I get to show my insane side of me being like, and here's how I check translations and all of these things that you do and what you should be doing, and
So,
just
Can I
going
assist
there.
Back
the
to the
linguistical
game.
decoding?
back to the game. Most recently, if I remember correctly, you guys now have 2 sets of stalker armor.
Oh yeah,
Specialized, yeah.
yeah. One's been
Yeah.
modified for Dilly.
Oh, you guys like hooked him up. Okay.
I was about to say, Adesh, didn't you?
I think Elias was
Give one
hungover
away.
during that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't know
Uh,
what that's
Panic
like.
attacks.
I have been hungover once in my life, and it was bad enough that I felt no need to ever get drunk again. So,
Just glad I had the foresight the night before to be like, yeah, Jody, you're gonna have to run the stream, and then I just never showed up.
See, that's the thing with the Hispanic culture. They let us experience that at 13. Not that I ever said that online or anything. That way you
I
know
had-
what you're
Theoretically.
getting into to start to drink. So by the time you get to
Yeah,
older
you don't go
years,
crazy when you're
Yeah.
off on your own.
You're like,
I think
"Oh,
I
God,
had
I
my
remember."
first alcoholic drink when I was 6.
Oh, we've had the fingertips for.
Oh
our
no,
entire
no,
life.
they made margaritas.
Oh no. Yeah, they did for us as well. We got to take sips out of everything except for
Oh
when we
no,
were
it
babies,
it
they
was
would
my
put it in.
own margarita.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
we're not
especially useful
Mexican.
when you were 13. I'm not Mexican either. I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban. Rude.
Well, you said in Mexican culture.
No,
no,
I
Hispanic.
thought you did.
Hispanic.
Oh, then I'm insane and I apologize.
It's okay. Not that there's anything wrong, but yeah.
fact,
Well,
I
it was
believe-
inaccurate.
I believe Hispanic is the only kind of cultural identifier that exclusively refers to the language that everybody speaks. If I'm correct in that,
No,
It's weird.
It's weird.
Hispanic
yeah.
is basically everyone that speaks Spanish.
I am half Hispanic, but my grandparents were never able to give me a country of origin.
Yeah.
Because technically, Hispanic
weird.
also refers to Spain and half of Latin America.
Places that were, dominated by the Spaniards, which is weird because we have terms like Hispanic, which doesn't refer to a place, as Elias mentioned, and yet because the Spain, conquered most of the world, but we don't have something just like, oh, I don't know, white as a specific, like, non-racial feature when, like, sorry.
I just
That
find
makes
it
sense.
fascinating because
Did it?
quote unquote
Because, like,
Hispanic culture is massively varied because Mexican culture is very different from Puerto Rican, very,
Right.
very different from Spain.
Which is why, like, as a race, you don't have like Caribbean islanders. You have Hispanic or white, and it's like, no, a lot of the Caribbean islands, like, they're Hispanic cultures that are mixes of, yes, some Spaniards, but also like some British colonizers. There's also like a lot of native people, and so it's like, why is that just considered white and Hispanic? Why isn't there like an
didn't-
islander? Like there's Pacific Islander, which refers to like Hawaiians, but like Puerto Rico has its own native collection of people, and I'm pretty sure that the Spaniards, as well as some British colonizers, did go to Hawaii. So why is that a distinctive feature? Sorry.
Doesn't Pacific Islander refer to more than just Hawaii?
It does, but predominantly Hawaiian, because it'll even state in the. Sorry.
They'll
okay.
do a parenthetical Hawaiian.
It
So
also refers to people
frustrating.
who live on Catalina Island.
Oh, that's fun.
It's
I
not
love
true.
Catalina Island.
I don't think
It
that's
doesn't. I was like, that's a lot of white people being Pacific Islanders.
Yes, it is. Which is why isn't there Caribbean island? Anyway, sorry. I'm done.
So anyway, trying to separate people into tiny homogenous groups is nearly pointless. Every culture, even in the same area, cultures are vastly, vastly different. And in Wisconsin, we were settled primarily by Vikings and Germans, depending on which part of history you're talking about. And drinking
Germans
culture
and
here,
Swiss.
And Norwegians.
and drinking culture here is very beer based. And
we're very
most
tequila-based.
people
Yeah.
don't wait until their 21st birthday to get
But
hammered the first
it also
time.
makes sense for Wisconsin because of how much snow there is. European drinking culture is split because of the mini ice age between where grapes could flourish. So that's why you have the southern countries like Italy, are wine countries, and you have the northern countries are beer countries because the grapes would freeze and you couldn't actually have wine.
You could have ice vine, which was very specific to when certain when certain varietals of grapes were frozen at, and then you make them out of the frozen grapes, which you have
Yeah.
to thaw first, of course.
But yeah, so that's why the prevalence of beer is higher in the northern countries.
Also-
Also, just so you know, if you drink alcohol when you're cold, sorry, fun facts, I love these. When you drink alcohol when you're cold, it doesn't actually warm you up. It just gives you the feeling of being warmer. So don't rely on alcohol if you're trying to warm up your body because it's a lie.
I saw that episode of Mythbusters. I liked it.
Is it on Mythbusters?
Yeah, they did an episode. They're like,
Also,
does it actually do it? And then they were drinking. They're just like, we're really cold now.
if I remember correctly, alcohol is a less reliable thermal conductor than just water, and so it actually will. If it's cold alcohol, it will actually drain the heat out of you, quote unquote, because it takes more heat to heat alcohol than it does to heat most other cold beverages like water.
If you are in danger of hypothermia, don't also get drunk because hypothermia makes you make bad enough decisions.
Unless you just want a really quick, comfortable
Yeah.
way out, then get
True. If you're
sloshed.
like, there's no way out of this, I'm dead anyways, let's drink everything we have.
I won't feel a hangover.
Yeah.
I won't feel anything.
We've brought it back.
This is such. I mean, Tears of the Realms is not a remarkably like upbeat thing, but this has reached new levels of wow.
It's worth noting
I mean, we're
that
about to talk about torture,
Sure.
so we've got one
What's
other
it
person
for?
to put through that.
That
It's
was
not going to be
pleasant.
as psychological as the last guy.
We're learning fun information.
it's worth noting that
We're
this is
teaching.
the alley squad you have this morning. So
Yeah, so the fact that we haven't even gotten to the game and it's
on
nearly, yeah.
This is also
I-
the Lick the Limestone group.
Oh god, this is the
Like
group
the
that would lick the
limestone?
dentist's fingers.
yeah, probably.
What are you doing? I'm learning.
Every time it murders Jody. Look at that.
It really does.
Oh,
Thank
so
you for
glad.
that fact, Jeff. It's the fact that keeps on giving.
It is. Whew. Okay.
Oh man.
Torture.
Yeah. Yay!
Light-hearted game of torture.
Lelia,
That should be
take
a board game.
a token of something. I can't
Oh,
think of what they're
yay.
called anymore.
Is it? Do you want me to take an intrusion?
Sure, take a player
Yeah.
intrusion
Take a
token.
Yeah,
GM, take a
ignore
GM
his
intrusion
thoughts.
token. Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of different types of tokens.
I
No.
live off reroll, so they're magic.
All right.
I'm pretty good on
Um,
rerolls at the moment.
So, if I remember correctly, we were getting to the end of the day after you had finished using your itching powder.
Did we end up going back to the base and sharing info
I
with
think
Mom?
we did because you found out their base was like out in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel
you
like we
shared
wanted
that.
to
I
report
I
that.
showed where
'Cause there
on
was
the
the
floor
map.
it was going to be.
Oh,
How
yeah.
about the fish?
Now I'm starting to remember. So, yeah. So, as we return, that means I have the wrong music. Let's go to.
Why did the music cut, actually?
Because I turned it off. Put on the right music.
Oh, I thought I accidentally muted
About-
the tab.
It's time for the ominous militaristic tier core music.
Yeah.
I was ready for pirate music.
I hear birdsong.
Well,
I hear
Birdsong,
birds.
it's
Hammering.
the
Yeah.
official name of it is Blacksmith Shop by Tabletop Audio, but there's enough kind of manufacturing and things happening at the tier score that it makes sense that you guys would almost always hear somebody hammering on an anvil.
Yep.
So anyway,
Oh, I need
you guys are at the tier score. You've brought, you finished your kind of meeting with Kess and the higher ups, talking about the possible kind of island fortress that these people are going out of. So, I guess the next question for you guys is, what do you want to do next? Do you want to return to Hateno because your prisoners are still there? Do you want to leave the interrogation to the tier score because they have sent people that are on their way to Hateno? So you can just kind of leave the prisoners that are there to be interrogated eventually by the tier score staff and start planning on dealing with this island that the Etsukor Malans are coming from. You guys still have a mission to the darkened tier in the sky that needs to be done. So, what all do you guys want to do?
So Dilly took over one of the guards' armors. Where's the other one?
I would assume with a dash.
Okay.
Well, I would
Do
assume
you
would
want me to
keep
put
one of the
Adash's
armors.
name? Do you want me to put Adash's name in as the user for this armor?
I think that would be very beneficial. Dilly.
Okay. I would like to communicate with the machine and make Adash the user, since I did it to the armor I now have.
I suppose you can do it to someone else. That way, if we go in and end up infiltrating.
I do have
Sure.
2 sets of armor now.
Yes.
Fine. Does someone else want this armor before I put Adash's name in?
Well, which one did you get? The Hulk one or the Warhammer one?
I got Warhammer.
War Machine one.
Yeah. Gonna call it Warhammer
Why'd I call it Warhammer?
because you like Warhammer.
I don't.
Well, your brain disagrees.
I feel like Mado would be someone good to have the armor.
Oh yeah, he likes like bulky things like shields. That would make sense to have a Hulk armor. Okay.
He's attempting to fly, although I would like the ability to fly everywhere we're going.
I'm pretty sure I
Not a
can
salty
change the
player at
name
all.
of this. Anyway, I'm gonna put Motto
Probably
in.
Mado.
I don't know where he is right now, but someone let him know that he is gonna be on this armor.
Sure.
He owns
I think
the armor.
Motto stayed behind at Hateno a little bit longer to kind of deal with shields up and stuff like that. And will probably remain there for at least the next couple hours.
Until he magically joins us if we decide to go to another.
Location.
So,
Right. All right. So we're at the tier core.
let's say at this point you guys have had your meetings and you guys have all been able to kind of go back to your dorms and you're in the kind of shared living space connected to all of your rooms.
Okay.
Sorry, Jody, remind me. I know Zoraya had Cass's hook shot, but was going to get one of her own. Did she actually get that?
To be blunt, I don't remember Kess giving you her hook shot. When did that happen? Was it
Whenever
during the fight when the tier score was attacked, or
it was during like a meeting. Whenever
Yeah.
Kess
She was
was
like, here, just take
first
it.
started to just be like, I don't care about anything. I need to focus on,
okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say at
I
this
know I
point,
maintained it for her, but I don't remember her taking it back.
I'm gonna say at this point.
Because I know I did
think you
ask the
still
researchers
have-
for a semblance of it.
Yeah. The thing with Kess's hookshot is, despite all the everything that's happened with the Tears Court, Tess, I cannot talk. Kess still keeps the hookshot schematics and everything very close to the vest,
Right.
and she won't let other people mess with it. The fact
Right.
that she gave it to you is important.
Right.
So as far as getting another one, no.
No, not another one of Kess's, just something of a similar design, just with how effective it was.
Yeah.
Again, not the same features, but like,
A climbing, a spring-powered climbing aid kind of thing.
yes.
Maybe not full-on hookshot, but yeah. As far as you can tell, no one has even started to attempt to work on it. But you do still, right now, you do still have Giga Kess's hookshot, which is another thing. Having grown up with her, that definitely means something. It being out of her possession for this is the longest you have ever seen it out of your mother's possession. So, I will say, if you want your own, your particular skill set is not quite in the neighborhood where you could make your own. Motto, on the other hand, if you wanted to kind of work with him, he couldn't make you a hookshot, but he could probably make you something that would give you similar mobility help. Maybe something a little bit more akin to how the grappling hook in Wind Waker worked, where it was still very useful climbing aid, but it wasn't a hook shot. It was super cool and allowed for some super cool stuff in the game, but you didn't like the grappling hook, Elias?
Imagine having to use that after having a claw shot in every other game. It's like it's just as cumbersome as the grapple beam in Super Metroid and Metroid. Like it's just do it, just do a hook shot. Just do a hook shot. I have many notes about Wind Waker.
So anyway,
But I'm sure yours will be great, Zariah. No, yeah, you know.
I didn't ask Mado. I asked the inventors here. Who have some.
Yeah,
They
they've-
have some experience.
they basically have told you, we can't do that.
You can't make a standard hook shot.
Again, the hook shot, Kess's hook shot is unique in the world. It was one of the things about her character in the last campaign was she's the only person in the world that had a hook shot.
Might have been
Gotcha.
standard a long time ago, but not right now.
Gotcha.
Your eye is
That
going,
I didn't
Mom, I
realize.
want a hook shot.
Yes.
Yeah. See, the thing is, even in the other kind of Zelda games, the hook shot is a magic item. Nobody else gets hook shot. I think in any of the Zelda games, does it?
Magic? I mean, it's unique. I don't know if it's magic.
It's a unique item, not magic, but it is one of the unique items. You never find another person that has their own hook shot in any of the other Zelda games.
No, because everyone else is either an NPC or evil. So.
But other
only
people
good
got
guys get hook
bows and
shots.
swords and stuff, but
Yeah.
At one point, I had discussed with Kiri about getting her like the double claw shot kind of thing. I don't think we ever did that though. I think she only ever had a single hook shot. She improved it a few times throughout the game.
I think she has a second one now.
Possibly.
If I
I don't know.
remember correctly.
When Kiri is no longer being awesome and super busy, we can ask her.
I mean, the first part is never going to happen.
Well, it was a combined statement: awesome and busy, not awesome or busy. She'll always be awesome, but there are times when she's not both awesome and busy because she plays a game with us.
Thank you for this lesson in the English language.
That's what I'm here for.
Would you like more?
No. You have done enough, Jax.
You've done enough.
I don't think so.
Take your
I think
points.
we would have a very nice stream if we just talked about translating ancient Egyptian stuff. I think that'd be a fun way to spend a few hours.
So
I
you
know
guys
you
are
would.
in your communal living area, what would you all like to do?
AKA our alley.
Yeah. You guys have your own custom-made alley. It has overstuffed chairs.
Yay.
I feel like it's going to take them some time to get things settled in Hateno. And then once that's true, you're going to want to mobilize and get things ready to do something about the base. We'll have
We should
to,
probably have reconnaissance go to the base, figure
Yeah.
out what it is.
and maybe while they do that and make preparations and do reconnaissance, we can pop into the dark tier, see what's up, come back, and then join them in whatever the next move is on the Core Mullins. That's my thoughts. What are yours?
They'll probably need the armor to be able to go by unnoticed at the base.
Okay.
Drat. I might need the armor then, because Rito aren't very common for them.
I mean, they're gonna know all our faces,
Oh, but the armors cover our faces.
but there's only 3 sets of armor.
And she like holds up her arms and wings.
Right. I'm just saying there's 3 sets of armor and 3 sets of armor and 5 of us.
Right.
So if that's the plan, we're gonna need 2 more sets of armor.
I just meant in general as a whole. Does that make sense? Because I feel like I almost said Cass. I know Anmado are more likely to pass as Etsukoi Marlin than Arito.
No, you're right about that. I'm not denying that. It's just that even though they look more Sheikah than Arito, they still look like themselves. So unless they're disguising their faces in a very convincing way, they're going to still clock them as who they are.
So I just assigned this armor to Motto.
Right?
You couldn't have spoken up earlier.
I mean, she did. We went back and forth. You just
What I
reassigned
heard
it
was
from
This
the
has
Adesh
been
last
like
motto.
30
Adesh
seconds
motto.
in
Adesh
game.
motto.
True.
What's one more reassignment? You're so pro at this now.
Yeah. Just an idea if we were going to try to get by more stealthily.
Well, and it's
What's
something.
that word for when someone is nice to you, but not really?
Nice.
Frenemies.
No, it's like pandering, but not. What you do to children.
Gerrymandering.
No,
Pacifying?
no.
Condescending.
It was condescending. That's not the word I was thinking of, but yes, Adesh was
It
being
was not being
condescending.
condescending. I
Oh,
have
you're
faith
so
in your
good at it
abilities.
now.
Passive aggressive.
That was true.
Manipulative.
I was not. Look. It was just a comment saying like you were able to just
Patronizing.
reassign.
Thank you,
Thank
Im.
you, Im.
I would. Okay. Look, I'm just saying I don't think it would be a huge deal if we had to reassign it again. I do know it takes effort on your part. I'm not denying that.
We have to reassign it again.
You
The armor
specifically,
gets mad, and sometimes it wants to self-destruct.
right? And
All right, then we just leave it assigned to Mado. There,
you
simple.
seem very capable, is what I'm saying, of handling that situation. Anyway, what I was saying before these accusations came flying my way was
Much like Zaraya.
she can fly, yeah.
Currently.
Maybe if we do go that route of sort of letting them recon and prepare, we can also give them maybe a ancillary objective of seeing if they can get one or two other suits of armor while we're gone. Let her
Well,
fly.
where's gone? Because we can go and get our own suits of armor if we go to another one of the points that they've dropped these crystals at, or these devices.
Well, we were only able to get these because we captured people alive and took them
Right.
off and made them. So we would have to do something similar.
Right.
Do we have intel
Got
on
to
where,
them already.
aside from their base, we have intel on where Mormons are?
I believe the map that Cass had on the team had on the table had various sites.
Oh, did it?
They had they had a few sites where incursions had happened, but they're over. Like Hateno is the only place where they weren't able to retrieve all of their crystal devices because you stopped them at the very end of their incursion. Everywhere else they were successful, but they also got significantly less people in those places.
Dilly, I know that when you were in the device and interfacing with it, it told you that there were several. No, was that during the interrogation? Was that the guy from the interrogation, or was that the device telling Dilly?
The device didn't know all that much. So I think that was the interrogation.
Okay,
Yeah.
dang it. All right. Oh, that's right. It was like not high enough of a tier, of a level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This armor was made for blah blah blah. Self-destruct in blah blah blah. No, no, no.
That's a,
No, you
that's-
will not self-destruct.
That's also a
No.
good,
Down.
No.
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 it's a good point.
Bad armor.
It's a good point to remember too for those of you wearing these suits of armor. Is if you get fairly injured, they might try to blow you up.
It's not really a blowing up as much as it is a liquefaction.
Melting alive.
And then they spatter your remains on the ground.
Dilly, did these two suits sound the same to you? Like, were they the same? I don't know how
don't
your
think
ability works.
Did I? Yeah, I just talked to this one and I haven't. So, Jody, did it sound the same? Because this is the first time I've talked to that other one, I think.
So the only suits that you've talked to were the two kind of custom models, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those two are what I'm talking about.
For lack of a better term, they have kind of different voices because they are custom models. You have no idea if the more kind of standardized suits have a quote-unquote standard operating system. But these two had their own voice installed, if that makes sense.
Great. Yeah, that Hulk suit sounded posh.
Oh,
I've decided it's British.
Like it sounded Rito.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
the upper class of Rito, yeah.
Right. So
In fact, upper class Ritos literally just live higher in the city.
Literally, there's higher on
Yes.
this rock.
So
I'm imagining saying Hulk smash with a British accent.
I hate that.
Idesh,
Yes.
how much information were you able to get from your suit? And if you didn't ask it anything or it didn't respond, Dilly, can you talk to Adesh's suit?
That's kind of the idea I was going to bring up because I have never really spoken to my suit. It just kind of does things when
Well, that seems rude.
I don't have your abilities to do that.
You couldn't even just say good suit one day? Give it some validation?
Thank you, Adesh. I am a good suit.
I think I'm still in this form, right? My character sheet says I'm on my Mitsukor Malin form.
I
Sure.
think so because you were trying to like be like, hey, I'm also one of you and
Yeah.
I'm friendly.
I don't quite remember, but if I'm in this form, I'll just go ahead and just be like, suit. Can you hear me? You're doing great today.
Papa, can you hear me?
We're wondering where you've been.
Yeah, it doesn't talk back. It's just a suit. Yeah, it's.
Sorry, I'm reading the specifics of the ability for
Oh,
your suit so I
okay.
can figure out.
Jody is learning if
going-
it can talk back to you.
Is you have at second tier you get the ability heads up display.
Oh, I thought I've
Of
had
course
that
it
the whole
does.
time.
Someone has to carry us.
No, that's a tier 2 ability. You didn't at tier 1 you
that.
didn't have it.
Yeah, I mean it's just sort of like a better, more functional suit. But I've never like heard it speak to me. It's like sometimes I mentally request information and it displays it to me. But since you can actually talk to machines, maybe yeah, you can try it.
I'm gonna say it's up to you as far as the heads-up display. The heads-up display obviously has visual things because that's how a heads-up display works. But there's no ability in the armor that specifically gives you an AI.
Yeah, that's the other campaign.
We're getting into real philosophical questions about sentience here.
So I'll let you choose if your armor is entirely kind of a GUI thing, or if it actually has an audio aspect.
Yeah,
to
so
it.
far it's just been visual. So if you would like to try and actually speak to this suit like you've spoken to the other ones, you can let me know if it also ever intends to liquefy me or something like that.
You're not
All
talking
right.
to Joe.
I would like to talk to Adash's machine.
Okay. I'm going to have you actually make a power roll for this because while you've connected to other Stalker armors, Adesh's Stalker armor is unique in the fact that it's actually created by his tier walking ability and not actually manufactured. So
What's the difficulty on this?
we're going to call this a difficulty 5.
And then I'm trained in the machine, so 4,
4, yep.
and that's times 3, so that's 12 or over,
Yeah.
right?
Yepers.
I would like to reroll
Why? What'd you get?
3.
Yep.
I would like to reroll.
Oh my God.
This is gonna
I
happen.
multiplied it by 3 that time, so it was a 9. Well done. Okay, so
Multiply it
this 2 rerolls puts me at 7.
My goodness.
15.
Okay. So,
Stop it.
as you, Dilly, as you attempt to kind of access the armor, having done this to 2 other armors and it becoming kind of second nature to you, you are immediately surprised that when you attempt to connect to Adesh's armor, it doesn't work the same way. Where the other ones, it's effectively been like having a conversation. Sometimes the conversation was very kind of pointed and kind of confrontational, but it was still a conversation. Here, when you try to kind of visualize yourself connected with the armor, you just see this kind of giant screen with like lines of code just kind of scrolling across it. And as you, I would assume the first thing that you attempt is to try to speak to it, and nothing happens.
Yeah, I absolutely say, "Hey, buddy."
Nothing. Through a fairly generous amount of trial and error, you eventually do figure out the interface in and of itself, but this is an entirely text-based interface.
Great. I would like to type the command, "Hey, buddy."
Just says a command is not recognized.
Learn a new language. That's making me do these things. Dilly is visually seeing themselves typing on a keyboard now.
The rest of you kind of look over at Dilly, and Dilly is just sitting there typing on nothing. They just seem very, very happy.
Really embracing their hacker man there.
Dilly, after spending probably a good hour and a half with the armor, you come to the realization that the control that you have over the other suit of armors, you simply do not have the ability to exert that kind of control here. Like, you can't change the username, you can't kind of force it to give you information. The little bits of information you have been able to get from it have been very, very sparse and very kind of generic. Like, you can figure out how much of a power charge it has.
Is there a way that I can update? It's a small update. I just wanted to recognize the command "Hey, buddy." Um,
It seems that you yourself do not have the ability to change the code in any way.
okay,
However, you think a dash would probably have a significantly easier time being able to modify this, and that's basically what you basically come away with, is the idea that however this armor manifests, it is entirely controlled by a dash, which does come with some benefits. Like, from talking with the other armors, there are overrides in place where Etsu Korimala can actually override the armors to do things like that. Liquidation protocol is an override. The people inside the suit can't activate it themselves.
okay.
Or they
All
can,
right.
but they can't stop it from activating.
Adesh, I have good news and bad news.
Okay.
First, be nicer to your armor. Second, it's not going to blow you up.
Okay, what's the good news?
It's not going to blow you up.
Or what's the bad news?
I can't do anything. It
Oh,
doesn't like listening to "Hey, buddy," but I think you can do something. So basically, you're going to need to learn how to interact with your armor better. Okay?
better? Like, well, I mean, it works pretty.
If you want updates and things like that, you're going to have to do it. And I suggest you get it to understand the command "Hey, buddy."
So
What
Dilly has just told Adesh to learn to code.
what
Yes.
should that command do?
It should result in the response "Hi," because that's the polite thing to do. When someone says hi, you say hi back.
Right. Okay. I will mentally try and program this command into my suit based on what they just said.
Yeah, you being in being entirely inside the suit makes it a little bit more difficult to deal with the interface, but you do have the ability to kind of modify the interface and modify how your suit works. So again, it'll take you probably another hour to figure out the ins and outs, but after that hour, you'll have, for the most part, the ability to add little subroutines and stuff like that to your armor without too much difficulty. I
Okay.
know learning to code normally takes longer than an hour, but
I will.
you have magical knowledge.
I will. I will work on getting that to work whenever we turn in for the night delay.
All right, sounds good. Didn't have any accent. It was all text.
Oh, it didn't actually
You maybe
talk.
should teach, yeah, maybe you should teach it to speak.
Well,
Okay,
okay.
bye.
Well, all right.
Have you experimented yet to see? Because
In
if
what
we
way?
went to, let me give you
That
several
was
options.
experimented in a
Let
lot
me
of
give you
ways.
several options. Which area are we
And
going in?
that's my cue
Personal
to go
life? Are we
find some
going?
Well,
fish.
that's why I'm asking.
Bye.
Yeah.
So have you experimented at all with your suit and the various crystals? Because if we were able to, if it was formed when we went to a different tier,
Right.
and we were able to interact with another crystal differently, I wonder if your suit can interact with the crystal that we have here.
Because
that make
it's
sense?
like a magical form of science.
Right.
What crystals do we
Magical
have?
science.
What crystals do we have here?
Well, we have the giant crystal.
Oh, you mean
Delirious as
the
well.
well? I mean, I could try that. The one we have here does work differently. Didn't we try? Did we try using my suit to interface with the one in the Minish realm?
I don't remember. I don't think you did, or if you did, it was not successful.
Yeah.
Because I remember.
No, we did because that's the reason why Zariah had changed her vine powers to interact with the crystal because your suit interacted differently.
Oh yeah, it interact as in physically. Yeah, you tried kind of working with the crystal, but as far as like hacking into it, the only one that was able to do that was Ino was able through a key. Ino was able to kind of resonate with it, and that's when you guys found out that the crystals aren't technically crystals.
Right. Okay. Okay. Um, I mean, I can go try it with the crystal here. Just try a couple methods while we're here. Do some more experimenting tonight for sure. I guess though, what's our game plan though, overall?
Just trying to see if you're able to extract some knowledge from because we went to the when we went to Etsu Koimala, there was the crystal there. So if we're able to extract the information that your suit was able to, whatever caused it to transform into your suit in Etsu Koimala, if there was any data, was it called delay information that was transferred over? Does that make sense? Essentially, if it's the crystals and various tears which are causing us to change our forms, that means we have to be getting something, some influence from the crystals in each of the tiers that we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
So if your suit's able to store because now it's here in this realm,
I mean,
tier,
this is
here in Hyrule.
if it is a realm of some kind, it's a special one.
Yes, because we're able to take what came from it. So the theory is that the suit is going to contain some information that was from the crystal of Etsu Koimala or previous tiers.
Yeah.
So if you have access to that, it might have information regarding what Etsu Koimala is drawing the power for, or
So you're saying I should try to use my suit in some way to connect wirelessly to the crystal that's all the way in Etsukorimala and see if I can.
no, it's more like trying to determine what information was stored when the suit was created. Because they were obviously already in the process of doing whatever it is they're doing with the crystal. And
Well,
it will also give us an idea of that crystal, how energy is being stored. Because do you remember how we were trying to store the energy of the crystal in what's the name of the Minish world?
I think it was just the Minish world.
Yeah.
The Minish world.
Yeah, I mean,
I was not cool enough to give it a cool name like Etsukorimala. It's just diminished here.
Okay.
I mean, I think our objective going back into that world was to try and like take a piece of it with us, but we ended up figuring out it was really more just like a container or some kind of energy or consciousness or something. I'm not sure.
Right, which is why I'm saying there's probably something. It's possible that things are encoded into your suit.
Right. Yeah. So
Right.
I guess what's the ultimate question here? You want me to ask my suit for information, or?
So I want you to see if interacting with our crystal here, is going to. Essentially, I'd like to know how your suit is storing the energy, and how it's utilizing the energy, because it has to be the crystal from various tiers that we're going to that's modifying us to fit the tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can try interfacing with the crystal we have here in a second, but it seems to be probably more connected to the one in Etsukorimala.
Right, of course.
That's where it came from. But yeah, I can see what happens.
All right, fantastic. I'll be right back.
Okay, all right. Well,
Billy comes back with fish. Hi,
What's up? How's,
Out yet?
figure what out? Oh no, not I. I'm still working on the hello. Hey there. Sorry, what was the command?
Hey, buddy.
Hey buddy. That's it. The hey buddy protocol, where it responds with hi. It's going to take me a little bit more time.
All right. Well, I was
I'm
thinking, didn't we draw faces on something in one of the realms and bring things to life that way?
You had the Minish character. I can't remember her name right now. She got a tier that allowed her to take something with the face and make it talk for a limited amount of time. She used that tier to give you a little doll of her that theoretically can talk. So you guys have a little talking doll of her that you got to take out of the tier with you.
So I wonder if we could get that and draw a face on your armor.
Maybe if we find another tier that lets us do that, but I think
I
that
mean,
would,
if you don't figure out the Hey Buddy protocol and how to actually communicate with your machine, that's a secondary option.
I
Plan
mean,
B.
I know how to communicate with my machine. It's just not usually through voice, but I think I
If
can
it
figure
doesn't
out.
answer you back,
Is there a second part to that, or
is it actually communicating or just speaking at?
it's just not speaking at all? It's all
No,
visual.
you're speaking at the machine.
I'm not speaking.
So it's not really communication.
I'm
You
thinking.
need two sides for a discourse.
It reads my thoughts. But I will work on this specific vocal-based protocol just for you.
All right. I was actually okay with it being a text-based protocol, honestly. Um,
I mean, I
It
don't know
just
how
won't
you would
let
see
me
the
do it.
text, or I guess the next time you hack into my suit, you'll see it if that's
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So experiments aside here, what is our next steps overall in terms of an overall plan?
Well, I'm pretty sure we need to go to the island base and figure out how bad it is.
Right. Do
Because
we?
we have all the armor that could make that not a death mission.
Well, they could still do recon from a distance, more than likely. But if we think we're
Yeah.
more equipped to do that with our 3 suits,
If I remember correctly, they had floated the idea of working with the Zora since it's so far out to sea.
Yeah.
Zora do have special forces that
floated
what
the
they do.
idea.
So I was rather proud of that one. So yeah, they're already making plans to do the initial recon using Zora special forces.
Oh wait, they're working with the Zora. I forgot about that until just this moment for some reason. So yeah, I don't know. I personally think we could use our time wisely by checking out the dark tier while they do the recon, while they clean up Pateno.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
last time we went to another tier, we came back and we were invaded and people died.
True, that's also a risk if we stay here,
But then we'd be here.
right? So then what are you thinking, Dilly?
I like it when people die.
Oh, what?
They go splat. And then there's lots of blood. So if
Oh,
we can avoid that, that'd be nice.
but you said you don't like it.
No, I don't like it.
Oh, I thought you said you liked it, and I was very
No.
concerned.
Yeah, the
No.
don't didn't come through there, Ilea. So all we heard was, I like
Technology is working against Dilly.
it.
And Ilea.
Really, I'm so proud of
And
you.
Dilly has their heel turn.
No, yeah, no.
Trying so hard for Dilly to not be as dark as I am. Yeah, so like let's not do something that'll lead to people dying.
I don't think us checking out the tier will lead to that. I don't think that was a cause for that. If anything, the cause for that was Etsu Koromalo finding out somehow to leave their tier.
Which we could trace back to us.
Very indirectly, but
Either way, we're at fault. Okay, we killed all the people. That's fine.
really not how that works.
Not all the people. We rescued. We say we have two. I guess it's technically rescued, right? Because we didn't let their suits liquefy them.
Are you,
I say the
They're
people who were in
Oh.
the ball prisons.
You know what? We'll say you also rescued the two from their suits, Dilly. How about that?
yeah, well, that's true.
I don't think I like how you're using the word rescue.
But it's true. You prevented them from liquefaction, so you did save them from a dire fate.
Yep.
Even Nadesh agrees, which means it's true.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it.
I think there's a flaw in that logic, Soraya. But where's I know? I know would be able to.
I know
explain the
when to
flaw
get
in the
fish.
logic. But I have fish.
Right, yeah, she left out right after you. It was you didn't see her on the way out? I don't know what's taking her so long, but that's where she is.
Jody, is it? Sorry. My bad.
Excuse
Hi,
me,
what can I do for
omnipotent
you?
reality.
Sorry. Jody, would it be possible for Zoraya to store as one of her non-plant compounds that she creates some limestone and potentially dried fish bones? Because it technically falls into the component category, which I would imagine like all the different herbs would also fall into. that she
Yeah,
stores.
you gonna try this one more time.
salt?
Your limitation would be space, especially with like limestone, because it's gonna be a lot heavier than like plants and stuff like that.
Right, but you can also grind it into powders.
Well, yeah, even the powdered form is going to be a little bit heavier than other stuff. But like I said,
Right.
your limitation is going to be where you're going to keep it on you.
Well,
Are
I
you
have
going
this
to have like a little
fantastic
backpack?
pouch. I've
or...
already got a pouch.
Oh yeah,
Keep it
so
on motto.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that's a grand idea. He does have his pack. Oh, Dilly,
And he's used to carrying heavier components.
that's true. Mado, I've got some things. Would you mind helping me?
See, I'm
carry
pretty
them?
sure that I'm able to logic, and that's why I understand that your logic from before was not logic, but that's okay.
Which logic?
so
from
Lex,
before?
while you were gone,
Yes.
we turned Motto into a pack horse. Congratulations.
Pack mule motto, they call him.
Yeah, yeah. He's a pack
So is
motto.
that answer a yes?
You. I'm going to try this one more time.
What's happening?
You can carry a limited number of components with you. It is never going to be as extensive as what you're going to have access to when you were here. Like, let's say you can carry, let's say, a dozen quote unquote vials of
Right.
different items.
Right.
So for right now, I'm going to limit you to, you can have a total of 12 units of stuff.
That's a lot. I love it. Thank you.
I do truly believe that if you said, "Here, motto, take this," there would be no questions.
Motto wouldn't, not only would there be no questions, there would be no, like, it would just be, okay. No discussion, no nothing. He'd be like, makes sense.
It did not, in
You have
fact,
a new business.
make
It's
sense.
called Matahall.
Hey, good follow-up to Shields Up.
If you're curious, Jody, I'm going to be putting the components in my notes. So
Okay.
if you
It's
ever wanna check
perfectly
that out.
fine. We haven't quite figured out exactly what, because
The
you
limitations
just
are,
haven't had
yeah.
a chance to use it a whole lot, but we haven't quite figured out exactly the limitations of how many of each unit are you going to need to make for each spell or each potion thing. So
Yeah,
we
I
will
know I
figure
can
that out
carry-
as we go.
Yeah. Because I know you said I can carry 2 active solutions.
Yeah.
So, very nice.
I will say carrying this pouch does limit your ability to carry other kind of random non-tier lines stuff. Like your pockets are effectively full.
That's fine. We've got Mado.
You need to
And
make
that's
more
what you do.
pouches.
That's why you always max strength on one of your party characters so that they can have a really high carry weight. And then you just give them every single suit of armor you find so that you can sell them when you get back to town. For anyone watching the replay, I'm talking to chat. Watch us live.
So,
Yeah.
it sounds like we don't want to go to the tier while they're reconnaissing the reconnoitering the base, or what?
Oh, jeez.
Potentate, your voice changed.
Potentate is now just Rick. Guys, really, we're gonna take over the world. It's gonna be perfectly fine. Actually, apparently he's now. Oh God, what's the guy's name?
Rick?
No, they're turning the frogs.
Oh. Who cares?
Yeah, I like
Not worth
the
remembering.
voice is fun. It's hard on my throat, but it's a fun voice to use.
Just like frogs are bad in your throat.
Voice
Zaraya,
naturals.
any input on next steps yourself?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that? I got distracted by vocal nodules.
Any input on next steps yourself?
Oh, collect more compounds. No. So, it'd be grand to get more information because if they are transporting people from our tier to Atsui Koromala for whatever potential experimentation, it'd be good to rescue them before they can do so. But on the same token, we can. I don't know. I know. What are your thoughts? You need to be here, please. Not asleep in your room.
I know it's very tired from doing all of the important things that I do all the time. So
Right. All of the knowledge I have to provide, all the reason and logic.
you guys are going to have to find your way out of this alley on your own.
This is the living room.
It's very alley-like, though. Well, you guys didn't notice that it looks like.
Did you
an
get
alley?
your fish?
Nope, still going, and she scutters off. Kiri, we miss you.
She's just been standing outside the door listening for ways to like interrupt and then go back out.
Just like the
Kiri's
voice.
like there's Kiri. Aino's like at the door so that she can come back in and go. No, I told you that was a bad idea.
Billy is upset there's not more fish.
Well, how
So-
what course of action then, Dilly, do you propose would lead to the
Well-
least amount of deaths?
Well, if you can guarantee they're not going to die while we're gone, we can go to the black place and go to the goth tier, and it'll be what it is. I don't know.
Dilly, what's Goth?
Oh,
So it was this thing that a Highland told me about where you like you make your hair dark, and most of you is dark except your skin. You make like as pale as possible, but also I don't think it's really about the visuals. I think it's about the music, man. And like what they play.
Attitude's a big
What's it-
part of it.
I see. I thought it was more like Hyrule had like Gothic era, and so there's a lot of
I mean, I think that there might
architecture.
be some intricate, like fashion pieces, some swirly shoulder things.
Sometimes they dress like those
Um,
buildings in a
yeah.
very
Yeah.
like dark way, you know.
Oh, that's just familiar. That's great.
Yeah,
Because I mean, I only got a
uh,
little bit of it.
Did you go through that phase,
I
Adesh?
didn't, but I have been
Slept
with
with people
people
who
who
have.
have. Yes. Anyway, I
Yeah,
cannot
more of that. We don't have
guarantee.
time.
I cannot guarantee that no one will die while we're gone because people die all the time for all sorts of reasons. But in the long scheme of things, to ultimately prevent the most deaths, we need to check out these tiers and we need to let them do their jobs so that we can help them do their jobs when we get back. in my
Okay.
So
opinion.
we do
Adesh
know that
says
time.
that the Etsu people aren't going to kill anyone while we're gone, so we can go to the dark tier.
It's like
So we
you
do know
only
that
hear
time
every
is
third word I
different.
say.
Right. So we do know that time is different per tier.
That
And
it
the
could
closer we
be.
get to the right.
Because it
So
wasn't
that's
when we were in
something.
Etsu Kormala. We went in and out and no time difference.
That true?
No, there was a time dilation.
Yeah,
at
there was a
Dixie
time
Mall.
difference. I was like,
That's what
From
I
Etsu
thought.
Kormala, there was?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Oh.
guys were gone for. You were only in there for a few days, and if I remember correctly, you were
It was
gone
like 3 months.
Yeah, months. It
Really?
was a.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
then
it only
when we went to
happened
the
after the Minish Realm.
no, with the
No.
Minish Realm, time was different in the sense that it was slower in the Minish Realm and quicker. No, vice versa. It was slower in Hyrule and then quicker in the Minish Realm. Because we were able to go there and like experiment for a couple hours and then came back and Kes was like, it's only been five or the guard was like, it's only been 5 minutes. What are you doing?
Okay. I clearly lost track.
yeah.
All right. Well, considering we're the only people who can do it, maybe we let Kess and the team know that obviously we don't know how long we're going to be gone, even if we're as quickly as possible. You guys know what to do in terms of reconnaissance and gearing up to combat the threat. And if you have what you need without us to act on it, and we're still not back, then by all means do so and try. Otherwise, we'll be back to back you up as soon as we can.
Do
I
they know
guess
how
we
to
should
get
ask
people out
Kess
of the
if they need
crystals?
the armor.
Oh, that's an
That would
option.
be good too.
All right.
Do we know if they can get people out of the crystals or not yet? The machines. My bad.
You guys already did.
No, we did, but can
The
they-
ones
But
they
there were
have at the
more.
base.
Yeah.
Oh, good question.
Because I did it.
right?
Yeah. As of right now, the way that the Etsukuri Malans get people out of the crystals is they actually have a device they connect it to get the people out. Dilly basically acts as your guys' extraction device. So without Dilly, there really isn't you guys haven't figured out a way to
Right.
get people out of the devices yet.
So we can tell her
Billy's
to.
gonna tell them to also steal a distraction device if they can.
Distraction?
I had a slip of the tongue and I decided to go with it.
If there is a way to pull them, if they end up doing reconnaissance and they infiltrate or are able to find any of these other devices, if they could potentially gather them, like I sort of did with the hook shot or whatever I had to drag it around, because I totally remember that. And if they can keep them a far enough distance, if they can't get the people out and they're still being sucked in, that way when we come back, Dilly can release anyone who's in there.
Yeah.
Dilly, when you were in there and you released the people, did you deactivate the device?
Why would I do that? We might need it.
We can store
Right.
Etsukor Mullins in there.
Yeah. Or
We
just
could.
people who make us mad.
We could.
Which
but
is
the
mostly
issue,
Etsukor Mullins.
the issue is if we get close enough to the tier and we didn't, or to the tier, if we get close enough to the headquarters and we didn't deactivate it, one, it would prevent our researchers from actually being able to work on it because they would be absorbed into it. So if we deactivate it, it'll give them a chance to look at the inactive machine device, whatever we're calling it.
So you want one deactivated? Because we had two.
Right. So one deactivated. That way they can experiment.
Study
with
it. Yeah.
Right.
Right. And then the
Aren't
other,
those still in Motto's town?
Yeah.
probably.
But they're on their way there, so we can let them know to bring them back, and this is the deal. While they do their recon, they can science and
tell them the amount of distance to keep from it and not to go through any towns while they are dragging it along.
We bring it back and Dilly's like, "What's this? Why is it full?"
we come back to an abandoned tier core and just the device sitting in the office.
Play, let everyone out.
This is how Dilly
And
gets.
Sukormala takes over Hyrule because they just drag the device to every civilized city.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they're protecting everyone.
Yeah.
Good plan Z.
So yes, if we can deactivate the device, actually, it might not be a bad idea to deactivate the second device. That way, they can still get close to it and they won't
Just for
accidentally absorb
transport.
people into it.
But
Right.
then I don't have a pretty turned on device.
Yes, but then you turn it on. Adesh can help you with that.
That's a wrong kind of turn on.
I was going to say that.
I meant because
The kind of devices I use for that are very different.
I'm aware of that, but I'm giving you the option of a second device or a second type of device that you can use to turn things on with.
Billy doesn't know what Adesh is talking about.
Yeah, probably for the
Gonna
best.
just ignore it.
Like your suit, if there's a way for your suit to turn it on. Although I'm certain your suit was turn on other things as
I think
well.
my suit
Other people.
just is always on.
Are you two okay?
Of course.
This makes no sense.
That's all right, Dilly.
No, the
You'll
suit's
learn
always
one
on.
day. You'll have a conversation with Ontrell. Don't worry, you'll understand very quickly.
Doubt.
Is it about shadows?
It
Why are
can
you
be.
trying to turn on shadows? That
It's
doesn't make
about
sense.
it's about
Just turn
her
off the
other
light.
her other expertise.
What's her other
Which
expertise?
can involve shadows.
I'm gonna go try to talk to this crystal.
You can make a shadow clone.
So
I don't understand what's going on.
She's never alone.
So, Adesh, as you get close to the room where the Giga Crystal is kept, you notice there's a pair of Giga guards there. As they see you, they just kind of stop and go, sorry, can we help you with something?
Yeah, helmet off to the side. We are. It's more science. We're trying to see if, because this faux Etsukor Mullen suit seems to have been made from crystal energy from their tier, to see if it has any effect in communication with the one we have here.
Very sorry, sir. We've been given orders. No one goes in or out right now. With all the stuff happening with those flying suit people,
Yeah.
guess it's decided it'd be best if we kind of limit interactions right now. You understand?
Sure. So your orders came from Kess.
Yeah.
Great. So if I come back with her saying it was okay, that would be fine.
You can just call her too. We've got communication devices.
I guess. I mean, you're
Hey,
gonna
Mom.
have to have something more than just, oh, she told me, because anyone could just wander over here and say, oh, well, Kiss told me to go in here, and like I'd be a really bad guard if the only thing it took for someone to get past my guard post is like, oh, I know a guy or a girl in this case.
Right. What if I talk to her over this device? Is that enough, or do I need to drag her here in
I
person?
mean, I guess I don't know too many people that are like really good at like imitating Kess. Oh, I will admit, there's this bloke who does a pretty spot on impression of
All right,
It's
that's
pretty funny.
fantastic. So let's us get on with it.
Oh, you're here too, Zerai. Oh,
Oh, was I not? I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. It was unclear.
You can be. There's no unless you
Billy's
want to
been
be.
left alone
Billy's
in a
always there for
room
urgency.
trying to figure out what's happening.
Fair enough. You're still talking to
Dilly
Mama.
is just sitting there with a light switch going on and off and on. It's like, so this
Like,
is.
This is not.
So how do
why
I
would you?
turn it
Why
on
would you say
differently,
turn
though?
on shadows? That makes no sense. You turn off the light. Why would you say turn on shadows?
You're start
without
like
the
you're
shadows,
trying
the
to
red's
you're
fine.
you're trying to turn like you start taking various objects and seeing if turning it on with different objects somehow makes the light different. No, it still just turns it
Billy
on.
is not one of the scientific people in the group, honestly. So this is as close as Dilly can
And
get.
Zerai is fascinated with all sorts of research, as you can tell. So she's definitely going with the dash.
Okay, so the guard is just like you look like you've kind of caused a feedback loop in his logic. He's like, listen, I was just told not to let anyone through.
No, that's
Fantastic.
fine.
Do you know
We'll
who I
get
am, love?
we'll get permission.
I mean, you're the Tear Walkers.
Yes, but specifically more than that. Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you're the one that's got all the crazy like shadow powers, right?
Sort of. So I'm Kessa's daughter.
Oh, yeah, I think he told us that one time.
Yeah. So if you could please move beside that.
And
that'd be
also
fantastic.
Zolta's
And Zerai
daughter.
like kind of takes him and like pushes him to the side.
And so he kind of brushes up a little bit. Goes, "I'm very sorry. Without orders, even if you're a blood relative, I can't let you get through."
Ring, ring,
go.
ring, 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 ring.
It takes an awkwardly long time to get in touch. Like, are we just kind of sitting there around?
No,
Zerai
she'll
is
pick up. She'll pick up. I promise,
Zerai
guys.
is going to be roasting this guy in the meantime.
And eventually,
Using a
you hear
raven
Kessa's
recipe.
voice. Yeah, what can I do for you? Do you guys?
We need permission to touch the crystal again. These guards are taking their job very seriously, which is good. But
Sorry, what are you talking about?
the crystal.
Yeah, big thing. We
Right.
chopped little bits of it, gave you guys the stones. What about it?
Right. We would like to try and touch it with my crystal built Etsu Koramalan suit to see if it can talk to it or interface with it in some way.
Okay, do you want me there? I'm not sure why we're having this conversation.
As I said, the guards guarding the crystal are taking their jobs very seriously and will not let us touch it. And they need override orders from the ones you gave them earlier.
Sorry, what? Guards?
Are you not blocking us from getting to the crystal, Mum?
You know what? I think I know what's going on here. Sorry to bother you. But yeah, come by as quickly as possible. Thank you.
And you just get, as you're cutting off, you go, what? You? I just spit all over myself. Damn.
So Zerai is going to make.
We're going to have to move ourselves through these guards.
Zerai is going to make a rope and immediately restrain the person.
Sure, go ahead and make me, I'll let you choose between wisdom and courage for this role. If you want to be kind of strategic about it, or if you just want to overpower them.
No, Zerai is going to overpower. him.
I'm going
Not
to
the
very,
practice.
very assist. This
Okay,
became
I'm gonna
extremely
say
urgent very
this is
quickly.
a guard.
Sorry, did you
I'm
want
going to
to
say
find
this will be a
purples?
I
think so.
You guys haven't had a long rest yet, but you could have taken, you'd have multiple instances where you could have taken effectively a short rest and used one of your recoveries to replenish pools.
Right.
So if you want to burn any recoveries right now, go ahead. We'll just say you did it before.
Nice.
But because this is a big dude that's his entire job is to be a guard, I'm going to call this a difficulty 15. Or not. Let's try it again. Difficulty
dang!
27!
Difficulty
Never
15.
happening.
How about a difficulty 5? How does that sound?
Let's see. Come over here. Hold up. It's not allowing me to grab this. There we are. All right, so essentially it's using. Let's see. I'm flower right now. I'm nature. So it would be grasping foliage, which is the equivalent of shadow grab. So fantastic. Power defense. They need power attack. All right. Fantastic. And 5.
So if you want to use your grasping foliage thing, I'll give you an asset for that.
Man.
So it'll bring it down to a 14.
That is bad. Okay.
4. Sorry, I got you. 12. Does a 20 do anything?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
As your major effect, there are 2 guards. If you would like, your major effect can just be you get both of them in one swing. Because if
Yes,
you
please.
didn't, you were going to get attacked by the other guard.
Oh no, yes, please.
So, as the conversation's happening and Kes goes, what? Zariah, before the 2 guards are able to react, you have already, because you have, again, if I remember correctly, your rod of shadow control, when you're in plant form, is this kind of sleeve thing that you have now, right?
I think it's more of a abrasive, but sure.
But yeah, but it's on your arm as
Yes.
opposed to being a. So as they both are kind of looking at each other, you instantly kind of extend it, and these kind of tendrils of roots just kind of shoot out and start tying up one of the guards. The other guard instantly kind of draws a weapon, and as he gets close to you, you just go no, and another one just shoots off and slams him into the wall, and he kind of collapses down unconscious as you kind of bind both of them. So you have one conscious captured guard and one unconscious.
I make
captured
a quick like motion as if to assist and be like, oh, no, you okay? Yep, that great. And I'm just gonna kind of barge through the door and take in the situation as quickly as possible.
Okay, so the door itself is locked.
I would like to barge through via.
If you just want to break it down, you can courage the door.
Yeah, I could.
It's not a particularly.
Yeah, why not?
This
Yeah,
door was not
that's
designed
fine.
to be like a blast door, so it'll only be a difficulty 3.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Great. 15.
50. Yeah. So you kind of step forward and just do a front kick and bust the door open.
Thank you, Suit.
And-
Not that you know how to respond to that yet.
The crystals that are there. The room itself, like the last time you guys were anywhere near this, there was a ton of people here, like examining it and stuff. No, there's no one here. The entire, like 2.5, 3-story tall room, because it's a big crystal, is just completely empty.
Is there anything missing from the room?
Other than the people, not really. You do notice, like, again, this thing has been under kind of constant study for a while. So there were like little stations set up everywhere with notes and stuff. The room has been cleared out. The desks and stuff had kind of been pushed away towards walls and that. So it's kind of mostly just a big empty room with a crystal in it.
Goddess.
Uh,
Page Mum again. Page. Connect with Mum again.
you do that. I'm going to take a closer look around.
Oh no, can you do that while you're taking a closer look around? That way you can tell her and I can go drip some liquid onto this guy's face. in
I
order
have
to
so much
ask
concern
him
for your
what
recent
happened.
methods, but sure, I can do that.
I guess I can use the
As
pad.
soon as you attempt to call her, you hear an echo from down the hallway of your voice, and Kess has come, and she sees the 2 people tied up with vines, and she looks perplexed. And then she looks to Zariah, and she goes, "Oh, yeah. Should have figured that. Hi, honey.
Hello,
What's
Mum.
going on?
Why are they blocking the door and where's all the notes?
I don't know.
Is there someone who could have done this? Someone else who could have done this? Because that means all of our research data, if it's not here, and our researchers who are not here, have possibly disappeared with the Etukoi Mullins.
As you're all discussing this, you see
Or-
a Hylian gentleman flanked by a group of 4 guards kind of come forward, and he just kind of looks at everything and goes, Kess, what's going on here? It's actually a question I'd like to ask you. Everyone, haven't had a chance to introduce you. I've been busy doing lots of things, and obviously the Tears Corps has gotten much more complicated, so we brought on... This is Captain Fennel. He's supposed to be the person dealing with the more aggressive aspects of the Tear Corps right now. What's going on? Well, obviously we've been attacked once before, specifically targeting the crystal. It made sense for us to set up some defenses here. Yeah, I understand that, but why is there nobody here? Where did all the research go? I've taken care of the research. It's all been cataloged. Half of it has been sent to your office that you don't use anymore. I said, why are they saying that I ordered this? Well, you gave me the authority to take care of this stuff, and so I made the call.
It sounds like she gave you the order to take care of things that were more of an aggressive nature. Not
The adults
actually...
are talking.
Oh, I beg your pardon, but I am an adult and I do have a voice here.
We are
So if you
both
would not
adults
like to
and
end
key
up-
to this operation.
If you would not like to end up like the 2 guards that you assigned, we're pretty pathetic, I don't want to lie. If you don't want to end up like them, perhaps you don't piss me off. Do you understand?
And so he turns and he starts looking at you. He goes, "Excuse me? Listen, I'm super happy that you have all these magical powers, that you get to do all these amazing things.
Oh,
But
and
I
I'm
have a
so
job here to
happy-
do."
I'm so happy you have such a strong ego that you believe you can yell at me in front of my mother. Let's try this again. So, if you're in charge of only the protection of this place, how did you move all of our researchers? Where is the data? Who gave you the authority to do that? Because I'm pretty sure that's not within your job description.
All right, everyone stop. And you see Kess kind of fuming next to you. And she walks
I back up a couple steps.
She walks up to Fennel, and Kess is a very compact person. Fennel is not. So she only comes up to maybe about his chest. And so she comes up, she looks at him, and her arm shoots up, grabs at his collar, and boom. If you ever talk to my daughter like that again, now that I'm speaking into camera, I will show you exactly how useful my hookshot is. Do we have an understanding? And he's sitting there, and you can see him, like his face is getting red. Ma'am, you told me to do a job, and I've done it very well under the incredible limitations you've given me. If you don't want me to do my job, find someone else. And Kess, maybe I will. For right now, these people, and she points to Adesh and Soraya, have my full authority to do whatever is necessary. And the next time you decide to make a unilateral decision and use my name, you better talk to me first. And she lets him go. She turns to the guards. Guards, we're not going to need you right now. Why don't you go find anywhere else to exist?
The people think that Zolta's the scary one of the two, but that's just because they haven't spent enough time with Kess.
So you see Fennel kind of gets up, and he is seething. But he does a heel turn, walks away.
No one gave you permission to leave.
He stops about 10 feet down the hallway, clicks his heels, turns around. Kess,
No, my
Do
name
I
is
have-
Soraya.
do I have permission to leave? And Kess kind of looks at him and goes, I'm not the one keeping you here, am I? Maybe you should ask the one that told you to stay. And he slowly turns towards you. May I leave?
Currently, no, you may not. Where are you from?
DM didn't write that part of the story yet.
I wrote the encounter, not the backstory.
At this point, Dilly got bored
Like,
of
I'll
trying
get
to
back to
figure.
you on that.
Dilly got bored
Guys,
of
we're
trying to
done.
figure.
And that's where we're going to end it for today. No.
No. Hey, Dilly got bored trying to figure out how you turn shadows on and went searching for other people. So
God.
Dilly's going to come in here now at this point and go,
Oh.
hi.
And I would say, Dilly, because of your backstory, you've walked into fights before. And so you instantly know what's going on here. You're not sure why they're fighting, but you've seen authority struggles before.
Gonna shuffle over next to Dilly and be like, "Oh yeah, we're this is between them right now."
I'm
Absolutely heard
Right
what you
now.
just said, Ilea.
from the Tears Corps, and that's all that matters. My
No,
life
it's
before
not.
here has nothing to do with you.
I beg your pardon. Change your tone and call me ma'am. Do you understand?
And he looks over at Cass, and Cass just looks back at Zariah. Yes, ma'am.
Wait, did Cass call Zariah ma'am?
No, he did. Sorry, that wasn't Cass. Sorry.
Conscious
They both
hopping is
use
wild.
The same basic accent.
Like, mom.
Just be modulating my voice, and as you get angry, your voice gets higher. Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you? Do you want my entire backstory? Do you want to know who is my daddy and what does he do?
You will
Mrs.
not speak
Daddy.
to me like that.
Dilly is just whispering things to Adesh at this point.
Who's
Who
your
is
daddy?
his daddy?
Who's your mommy?
I literally
Who's
just
your
met
daddy?
this guy.
and what does he do?
Don't call me ma'am, call me mommy.
Oh, been there.
Oh no.
No, I'm kidding.
I assume you have a mother, Adesh.
Yeah.
Haven't we all been there?
I don't know if all of you went.
Went where?
I think when we were in Kakariko last, everyone kind of did their own thing. You know what? We'll talk about this later.
Is this more to do with turning on shadows?
No,
Because I
not
couldn't figure out how to
even.
do it.
Okay.
So he's looking at you, and you can see like he's about ready to explode. This isn't worth it, and he just leaves.
Hi.
Mom, where is he from? Where's his application? To stop this amount of work in this amount of time, since we haven't been gone for very long, is very concerning.
He's a former. He protected the royal family. He's a former Hylian guard. That's why he's here. I needed someone with experience. This isn't. I mean, we never dealt with people. The closest I got to dealing with people was your mom and Aruna. I mean,
Different people.
Like, I think you missed two other people.
Iruna is people.
I just this isn't what I do. I discover things. I learn things. I like learning things. But and now the fact that the Tears Corps is more than just learning things. We have to protect Hyrule. I need somebody.
I know, and I understand that, but if he's in charge of the guard, he shouldn't have priority to take over your research.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with you. I didn't know that he did that. This is
As-
all new.
But as a royal guard, he knows limitations.
I mean, should. That's why I picked him.
Right, and that's why I'm concerned, because he apparently does not.
I know. I didn't know this was happening, honey. I really didn't. I'm going to have a conversation with him. We're going to outline where he's allowed to make decisions and where he's not allowed to make decisions. This is really new for me.
I know.
And I saved the world once, so I mean, that's saying something.
I know.
Get it? You saved the world.
Yeah. Managed
Yeah,
to
it kinda
get
takes a
that
breath.
in there again, didn't you?
Okay, Zariah takes a big breath. I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to blame you or to add more onto you.
You're 100% right.
But I'm very concerned, especially with the Etsuikoro Marlins trying to get as much data as they can from this realm. From our Hyrule, sorry. I keep calling it a realm. Do you understand? Like, it's a very...
Listen, and she kind of brings you in closer. Do you remember when you were young, I showed you a ruin that I found when I was really, really young?
Yes. The one that Ontrell smashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need you and your friends to meet me there. After everyone is asleep, okay? I will leave the teleportation controls open. There will be no one there. We can't have this conversation here, alright?
Right. Where's Ontrell?
Okay, but Adesh, who is his mommy?
I don't know. And I don't know.
And then she kind of puffs her chest up again and goes, listen, I've got work to do. Do whatever it is you guys need to do here and lock up. She looks at the state of the door.
We'll get the door fixed. Sorry, we thought it was a little more urgent than
She walks over to one of the guards that's tied up and just reaches down to his belt. You're familiar with how keys work, right? Like, this isn't even new technology.
I'm used to tent flaps.
Okay, we thought that maybe we had been compromised and like they were we thought there would be people or like an evil bad guy in here potentially. Like we were just trying to be quick about it.
No, the evil bad guy was out here.
She just kind of gives this really big sigh. Nothing is ever easy, is it?
Hey, you've
She just kinda
been in
walks
our
off.
shoes. Okay,
You're a
well,
mother,
okay,
of
bye.
course not.
Oh, yeah.
Before she walks off, can I give her a hug?
Yeah. And she, like, you can feel her kind of melt in your arms a little bit. Like, you can feel the tension in her shoulders, even after the hug, is still, like, she is really stressed right now.
Should I have a lot to bring you some tea?
You really
And
need-
fish.
You just had fish.
And you just
For
watch her
her,
face.
it's comforting.
You
Comfort
just see
fish.
her face
Right.
go, ah, Dilly. And then walks away.
Dilly, since you're so accustomed to where Lottie is and can find her apparently instantaneously.
All right, I'll get her some fish.
No, can you please ask for snacks and tea? I don't
And
think it's-
fish. Got it.
No, I don't
Okay.
think her stomach's up for fish.
Dilly's
right now,
gone.
But you can bring me fish. Bring me the fish, not Mom. Please.
Everyone gets
don't-
fish.
She only eats a particular kind of fish. And I don't
Lottie
know
will know. Billy disappears around the corner.
Okay. So, for Adesh and Zariah, what do you guys want to do here?
Why don't you figure out these guards and get them on the door or something while I go try and talk to a blue crystal?
Right. So Zarai's going to release them.
Okay. They get up, and both of them are very apologetic. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, we thought we were.
Oh, the other one regained consciousness?
No, the other one is well, yeah. I mean, you didn't hit him super hard, so he's probably only out for like a couple minutes.
Okay.
He's nursing a really, really bad headache, and he's less apologetic. He's more just, it really hurts. But the other one's, I thought, I was told it was directly from Kess. I didn't mean.
It's all right. You're doing your job. Now you know. Don't
Yeah,
try
no,
to pull a weapon on me again.
Well, I mean, it's my job. I'm not trying to be rude or nothing, but it's my job. But if I don't do it right, like the entire purpose of being gods, it's
No, I understand. But now you know who holds authority. So if you see me again,
I understand completely. I just
fantastic. Apologies.
Any kind
And
of-
I'll be sure you get something for your head.
I'm on
Apologies,
Frank.
I
Let's
didn't
go.
expect you to hit that hard. No, actually, we do need you to stay here. Continue to guard the door.
Can I at least just take him to get his head looked at? Because I don't think he can walk on his own. And you kind of did. You're the one that kind of hit his head. I'll be back as soon as I can. He doesn't look good. I've seen concussions before. He looks very concussion-esque.
Fine. You may go.
Thank you. And he kind of takes Frank away.
Oh, Jody. Giving Soraya power again. I appreciate
Really need to
it.
stop doing that.
You
However,
take away
to-
my
to be
ability
fair,
to fly, so I
like,
appreciate the power.
The idea of Cass,
Oh no, I didn't hit him that hard.
as well as I know the character of Cass now, I don't think there's another way she would have responded to that situation. Like, it may, from a DM perspective, it was a bad choice to give you more power, just in general. But it's all
it was a fantastic
the
choice.
it's the eternal, it's what my character would do. It's 100% what Cass would have done. Like, no question in my mind. If Kiri was here playing Cass, that's what she would have done. So, they wander off. Adesh, as you attempt to kind of interact with this crystal, your armor doesn't so much connect to it. But go ahead and call this a power roll. Let's call it difficulty 4.
I'll try two methods,
Okay.
at least that's my intent, to try just a physical connection and then just wireless,
Sure.
using the suit. So this roll is for...
I'm going to say that this roll is for both attempts, and I'll
Okay.
just give you an asset for trying multiple approaches. So that brings it down to difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3, I'll use my 2 edge and 1 effort to bring it down to a 2, right?
Yep, so your edge means that your first level of effort only costs you 1 point
Right.
instead of 3.
Yeah. So let's go back down to
So bring it down to a 2.
Powerly, yeah, okay. Hopefully I won't need to, yep, I will. Okay, re-roll.
Oh, nice.
Elias is almost as reliable as an atomic clock.
I'm pretty sure I have 2 re-rolls, yeah, okay. All right, 2 re-rolls later, after 3 and a 5, we're at 14.
14, cool. So as you try to kind of physically interface with the crystal, despite your pretty extensive knowledge of how physical interfacing works with most people, you're finding it significantly more difficult to interface yourself with this. Touching it doesn't seem to do much aside from the fact that as you touch it, you do get a small kind of draw of power into your suit. The power levels start to raise slightly. As you try to interface with it on more of a kind of technological level, for lack of a better term, the closest that you can get is it's asleep. Like, there is something more to this crystal than just the fact that it's a physical crystal. There's something to it, but as far as you can tell, it just doesn't seem to be responding to anything.
Does it feel like there's any way to help wake it up?
At this particular time, you've got no clue. This is your first kind of interaction with it, and you have no idea what would do. Like everything that you attempt has no result. So if there is a
okay.
way to wake it up, you don't know it currently. But again, you have nothing to compare it to, so you don't know if it's slowly already waking up, if something has caused it to go into this dormant state recently. This is your first interaction with it, so repeated interactions across time will give you more information.
Yeah. All right. I'll add it to my daily routine for every day that I'm here.
Okay.
Go back to Zaraya. It does feel different. I mean, first of all, I think it topped off my suit power wise, so that was great. Full battery. But then otherwise, it's hard to explain, but it feels like I was able to technologically confirm in some way that this is a different kind of crystal than the ones in the tiers. And that there's also something dormant about it, as if it's maybe not fully awake or fully activated, but every attempt to try and see if I could activate anything, I couldn't. I was grasping at straws, didn't know what to do, so...
Could you tell if it just topped off your suit or if it drained the previous energy from it and refilled it?
I cannot tell either way, but either way it feels like my suit is rejuvenated and at full operating power.
And nothing happened with the crystal after it charged you? Or while it was
I mean,
charging?
you've had eyes on it. From a distance, it looks the same. Felt the same.
There's something dormant in it. I mean, which would make sense because there's something in the other crystal in the Minish world.
Yeah, I mean, we know those are different. And I'm assuming the crystal, if there is a crystal we find in the dark tier, that's going to be even different.
There is an active crystal in the dark tier.
Oh, really? Did I miss that briefing? How do we know that?
Well, we don't. It's just a theory.
Oh,
But
oh,
if
well,
the
yeah.
Etsuikori Marlins are going to tiers and collecting people and potentially their crystals,
Have we seen them
that's
go
what
into
makes
other
them
tiers?
that. We haven't. It's just, again, it's just a theory.
Right. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's why I was kind of championing us go there while they get ready for a strike or whatever it is they think is best against their base,
Right.
so we can find out what's up. We've kind of been putting it off,
Yeah.
for good reason, but
All
All
right.
right, Dilly's gonna come in holding a plate of fish in each hand and one on their head. All right, I brought the fish.
can I please have a plate fish and not a head fish?
Fish.
Thank you.
Then a fish over to Zaraya.
Thank you.
And then with their hands now free, they take the plate off their head.
All right. So I would say let's go in the morning. We'll take a rest this evening. Get everything prepared. I need more chemicals. I need more compounds.
Are we going to the goth tier?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, I should dress appropriately.
Yes. And I do think that...
I think it's going to dress us once we
yeah, it
get
will.
there.
It'll
So
do
that
this.
would be interesting if it just makes us all goth as soon as we arrive.
I would love an episode for us to aesthetically be alt and goth. We just
As soon as you get there, you just hear bum, 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 bum.
All right. So let's take a rest, and I say let's go, because the worst case we can always just come back, and that will give us an idea of. Oh, that was a little bit Irish. That'll give us an idea of the time difference
an idea.
between the two.
Right.
Oh, it'll give us an idea. It'll give us an idea. I love the Scottish accent. All right.
Yes.
Mr. Omnipotent Reality. Man.
Yeah.
Did any of the rest of us hear Kess whisper the meet instructions to Zaraya, or just Zaraya?
Oh, that's right. We are meeting with Gus. Sorry, apologies. I
It
forgot
it
about that.
would have been quite enough that only because the guards were right there.
Right,
It would have
just
been quite
Zariah.
enough that only Zariah would have heard it.
That's right. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
I forgot
sounds
that.
good.
No, actually, first, before we take our rest for the evening, she gets really close to the both of you and kind of motions you. We are going to meet Mom tonight.
Again?
So, yes, there's information that she would like to share. That's not in the day call.
Okay. Yeah, I
Fantastic.
didn't really want to get in the middle of all that. It seemed intense, to say the least.
It was. At least on his end. Can
On yours a little
before
bit as
that-
well. It's, you know, blame spread around.
Blame the spread around. All right. So, can
We'll move on.
Can this evening while we're waiting, can Zariah try to get in touch with Ontarel?
Sure.
Okay.
So as you all kind of make it look like you're bedding down for the night, Arel, as you kind of go through the Arel, I'm sorry, Zariah.
You are now a rel.
You are now Arel.
Kind of miss being
It's like
this
that
dumb.
part in the video game where you're suddenly a random other character.
And for some odd reason, it's a stealth section. You have no idea why they put a stealth section in the game, but now it's a stealth section. And if you get seen just once, you have to start the whole thing over again, and all you have is that stupid camera. And Mary Jane is a really awesome character. You can do a hell of a lot more than sneak around and throw rocks.
This went somewhere. I think that Jody had some emotions that he needed to get out.
I really love the Spider-Man games by Insomniac, but they're doing Mary Jane so wrong. She's an awesome character. She's just not Spider-Man, and so they had to make you feel weak and powerless because you're not Spider-Man.
And because you're a woman.
Well,
move
there's
on.
that too, but so as you try and reach out through the shadows, you don't get anything. Not that you're having a hard time finding her. You literally, as far as you can tell, she just doesn't exist in the shadows, which is not something you've experienced before.
Oh, crud. Guys, I think Aunt Terrell is stuck in one of these mechanisms, devices.
What? Why?
She's not. That doesn't make sense, though. She's not responding. She doesn't. She's not in the Shadow Realm, which doesn't make sense because she's connected to the Shadow Realm.
Maybe that's one of the things Gus wanted to talk about.
Has she chosen not to turn on the shadows?
Unfortunately, she
It's-
always has the shadows turned on.
Which is why it seems
Unfortunately.
odd that she has not currently turned her shadows on. Yes.
Yeah, but let's meet with Mum.
All right, where are we going?
Oh goddess. Just back near Kakariko Village.
How are we going?
That is an excellent question because I was going to have Aunt Terrell sort of assist us with that.
I can fly.
What?
I have this armor.
Oh, right. Well, it's still a long ways away by flight. So wait, she...
I'll remind you, your mother did mention that
Yeah.
the teleportation room would be available to you.
So she just told you to meet us there, but didn't specify how?
No apologies. Jax forgot.
It's fine.
Teleportation.
It's been, you were intensely, fighting with Whoozy Wetsit. You were coming down off of a power high,
No, I was trying to figure out what other chemicals compounds. Are different. So
While we're doing all this stuff, you're
especially
just
after that-
researching. You're just researching what burns the most.
Well, no, I know what I want to bring, but now I only have a limited number of space, so I have to prioritize.
Inventory
Thermite's
management.
really easy.
Right? So.
This is now a resource management game for Zaraya.
It's like the cooking in Breath of the Wild. Only so many slots.
I just realized I gave you a cooking ability.
Do you have aluminum on hand? And
Not on
ferric
hand.
oxide?
Sorry, you probably
All right.
say it as aluminium.
Yes.
Do.
Do you have aluminium and ferric oxide? Because that's what you need.
I'd have to see if it's available. I imagine aluminium is.
Which ferric oxide is just rust, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, because I wasn't. So I thought it. Well, I guess iron is Fe, right?
Yes.
So the thing is, like, I thought it was iron oxide. No, ferric oxide would be the correct term for it. All right. So, anything else you guys want to do before? Just because it's getting a little bit late here.
Oh no.
Anything else you guys want to do before you go to your meeting?
Nope. Meeting time.
I would like to begin work on the Hey Buddy protocol.
Hey,
Uh,
buddy.
You think that in the you guys have a few hours before you're going to be able to leave. You think in the few hours that you have, you can definitely install the Hey Buddy
Okay.
protocol.
Right before we head out, I'm just like, hey Dilly,
Yeah.
try to talk to my suit again. Later. We'll do it later.
She'll do it later. So, in the dead of night, you guys, do we have you back?
What was that, Adesh? I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Try to talk to my suit again.
Me?
You.
Okay, I'll talk to your suit again. Is it going to be just like before?
I don't think so.
Okay. Wait, is it going to talk to me?
I don't know. Talk to him, find out.
All right, let's find out what accent your suit has.
So you do the same thing you did before. You see the big screen. What do you want to do with the big screen?
I want to type in, hey, buddy.
And it responds with, hello.
How are you?
Nothing.
Didn't get that far.
Does not recognize
Adesh?
Like, that took me 2 hours. It's not enough? I learned basic for you.
And now you need to move your basic.
And now it's something called Turbo C++. Like, I mean,
So did it work?
Rammed up.
It said hello, but it won't tell me how it is.
But you want to have a conversation with it?
Yes,
You
that's
just told
the
me to make
polite
it
thing
say.
to do.
You just told me to make it say hi back whenever you said hey buddy.
It is polite to have a conversation when you try to talk to someone.
All right.
How
Well,
about we just have Bool interface with it?
check in with me in a few weeks unless I can talk to Bull before we leave.
Right?
right.
I haven't seen him around for a while. It's around for a while.
Anything else?
Everyone's
you
just
guys wanna do
slowly
before the
disappearing. It's the real plot.
meeting? Bool has been turned into a
Oh.
coffee maker.
This is now D&D and there's a false Hydra.
Oh my god.
You're wandering around. You find Bool, and he goes, "If one more person asks for a venti anything, I'm gonna kill someone." So you guys are able to sneak out in the dead of night. You use the teleporter, and you arrive just outside of Kakariko, which is where you normally would. And then Zaraya, you have no problem kind of navigating to this cave structure.
Where? I have never seen this place before. Where are we?
There is a ruin slightly below, so if you would just follow me, please.
with all the technological advances and increases in research and stuff like that, Kess made it a point to keep this particular ruin off of all of the maps. So it is still relatively unknown. So as you kind of start descending in here, you can see the remnants of Sheikah traps that have been disabled,
Dissected.
dissected, taken apart, put back together, and then broken. And it takes you a little bit to kind of work your way through the kind of maze of the labyrinthine corridors. But you eventually come to the room where you're aware, but I guess I'll ask you, have you ever actually been to this particular room before, or are you just aware of it?
No, I imagine Ontarell would have taken Zaraya there to brag and like show
Okay.
off. So it was
So
their
you've been
hangout
here-
spot.
So you've been here a few times, but something that you are not suspecting is as you come in, there is some lighting around so you can see. And you see, not only do you see Kess, but you also see Aruna and Pierre and
Zulta?
Zulta. There we go. I'm sitting here, I was like, who are they?
And Rel.
And and standing next to Zulta is Arel, with this kind of apologetic look on her face. Unfortunately, though, that is where we're going to end it for
All right.
today.
Someone remind me next time to ask Arel how to turn the shadows on.
To which she will reply.
She will happily reply.
I always have
She
things
will.
turned on.
Dilly is going to be traumatized.
Things are just always turned on for me. That's her response.
So, let's talk about erogenous zones.
I have to go.
Actually, if
Right
you
now,
own the
right now.
unrated version of American Pie Bandcamp, there is a extra in there that tells you how to do certain things. And when you get that as a gift when you're 16 years old, don't watch it with your entire family in
Did
the
they
room.
turn it into a sex ed video or what?
Yes, and they demonstrate on a cantaloupe.
Oh yes, I did.
So
know that.
anyway, back to here. If you missed any of the episode, except for that last part, you can always watch all the episodes right here at twitch.tv/ZeldaUniverseTV.
Y'all are
Hit
so
the
lucky we
video
don't
tab.
actually edit these VODs. Like this VOD would be half the length.
You check it out there. Otherwise,
We used to say this was family friendly.
Imagine.
Once upon a time.
anyway, that's going to be all for us today. And we will see you guys next year. Because this is the last Saturday of the year. So, again, if you celebrate any of the various holidays that are going on right now, I hope you have a wonderful time. And, yeah, we will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.